Charges of sexual abuse and cover-ups within a religious group are no longer confined to Catholic priests.
And tonight, a News 8 investigation focuses on the growing number of allegations that children are being victimized within the Jehovah's Witness faith. It's a charge church leaders have gone to great lengths to deny.
Channel 8's Valerie Williams joins us now with more. Valerie?
Well, there are approximately 1 million Jehovah's Witnesses in the United States and 6 million worldwide. One of the most important tenets of the faith comes from Deuteronomy 19:15, a scripture in the Bible which says, "No single witness should rise up against a man respecting any error or any sin. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, the matter should stand good." Victims say for decades this passage has been used to force them into silence and to cover up the abuse. While normally it's not our policy to identify victims of sexual assault, these women wanted us to tell their stories. And tonight, News 8 investigates.
Jessica Tolman was just 4 years old when she says she was molested by a relative.
He destroyed my life. And there's no taking that back.
It was only recently that Tolman discovered her sister, her mother, and her aunt also claimed that they were sexually abused as young girls. Different men, different congregations, but the same faith, Jehovah's Witnesses. Tolman says in each case, sometimes despite evidence, church elders prevented the family from reporting the abuse to police, and then did little or nothing to punish the alleged molesters.
That two-witness rule is a joke. Not only is it a joke because how many people do you know that are raped in front of somebody? How many children? It's a dark thing. It's a dark secret that people have. How many times are they going to do it in front of somebody so they can get busted? Will you give me a hug?
At the age of 26 and with a child herself, Michelle Lonabaugh made the very difficult decision to defy elders and report her stepfather to authorities. She says from the age of 9 to 14, he sexually abused her. Last year, shortly after her stepfather was indicted, Lonabaugh says she was excommunicated, or in the words of Jehovah's Witnesses, she was disfellowshipped, a sanction so severe that the person is permanently shunned by family and friends in the faith.
I don't know what allegations they used to disfellowship me.
You mean there was no hearing?
No, I wasn't involved.
They didn't tell you in advance that they were going to kick you out of the church?
No. My mother called and told me it was announced at one of the meetings.
Lonabaugh says she has rarely seen her mother since that day. She says her stepfather's case never went to trial because the statute of limitations had expired on the alleged crime.
We have a very aggressive policy to handle child molestation in the congregations, and it is primarily designed to protect our children.
Organization leaders declined to interview with News 8 on camera, but the allegations of sex abuse have created such a worldwide controversy for the church that it has now posted edited sound bites on its website for the media to use.
When it comes to the matter of reporting, then that's something the parents can decide. We certainly never tell them not to report a case of child molestation.
Of course, the sound bites don't allow for follow-up questions to accusations such as this.
If you report child molestation to the police, on surface value, you're not going to be disfellowshipped for doing that, especially now since they've made that statement. The problem comes in if the man is deemed by the elders to be innocent. If the child does not have a second eyewitness to the matter, then the man is deemed innocent within the church, and all members of the church have to treat him as an innocent man.
Bill Bowen is a former elder from Kentucky who now operates a website for victims of abuse called Silentlambs. Disgusted with the handling of a molestation case in his own church, Bowen taped an official in the Jehovah's Witness legal department giving him this advice.
You just ask him again, now, is there anything to this? If he says no, then I would walk away from him. Yeah. Leave it for Jehovah. He'll bring it out. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bowen was disfellowshipped in August. Church leaders accused him of causing divisions. Bowen claims the church maintains a database on all child molesters. He says sources within the organization have told him that it contains the names of 23,720 abusers from around the world. The files are stored in Brooklyn at the Jehovah's Witnesses headquarters called the Watchtower.
The Watchtower has acknowledged that there's a database. They have only argued about the numbers. So, no, I don't think 23,720 is accurate. I think it's a lot more. And I would defy them to prove me wrong.
One member, Daniel Fitzwater, is a convicted child molester in Nevada. According to internal church documents, he abused 17 girls from 6 different congregations. Attorney Kimberly Norris is representing 10 of Fitzwater's victims.
What has the church done? Supported him 100% throughout the process.
And what has the church done in regards to his victims?
Most of the victims have been disfellowshipped.
When Fitzwater is released from prison in February, he will be a member in good standing, presumably allowed to practice another major tenet of the Jehovah's Witnesses faith, which is to go door to door witnessing and setting up Bible studies. Some of his victims wonder if the families who invite him in will ever be told that they are trusting a convicted child molester.
Based on the cases that are currently emerging, it appears that most of the molestation victims in the Jehovah's Witnesses appear to be young girls, which is different from the trend that we've seen in the Catholic Church. Also, such has been the secrecy within the Jehovah's Witnesses that victims such as Jessica Toman are only now finding out abuse involving others in their own families. Toman says even though she and her sister were close growing up, she never knew that her sister had been sexually abused until last year.
Just amazing.
It is.
Thank you much.
Sure.